When I started about 10 years ago to dig deep into uncovering the question, how can I become the best version of myself? I started reading a lot of books, and soon I discovered that, of course, there's a saying, you are the average of the 5 people that you surround yourself with the most. The question is, what do all the successful people have in common? I always try to find out, what do they do that I do not know? What have they learned? What have they done? What do I not have on my radar? How can I get there too? Because I strongly believe that if anyone else has done it, why should I not be able to do it? And I think one of the main things is really to stay on track. You want to stay focused. And I think that's where a lot of us fall off the bandwagon. You can't do big things when you're distracted by small things. But it is so easy to get distracted by the day-to-day, very small, minute things. They seem to be very urgent and important. And there was another book where I learned, urgent is actually never good. When you let it become urgent, then it's something that stresses you and you might have to sacrifice doing something else just because you have to attend to the urgent. Yes, sometimes urgent things arise that we cannot predict, but if you let something become urgent, it will take your time away from the important. And we should focus much more time on what's actually important versus what's urgent. But it's just so easy, and I'm totally talking to myself, it is just so easy to get distracted. And I always think of it like going on a car ride, turning on your GPS. So your GPS will definitely just take you where you need to go. You just type in or you put in your destination and it'll bring you from point A to point B in the most direct way. Of course, you can give it directions like, do we want highways? Do we not want highways? Here in Germany, the Autobahn is probably the quickest way to go anywhere. And if you tell it, it's, you want the quickest route or the shortest route, it will do that. No distractions. Now, of course, if you do without a GPS and if you just watch, what's going by when you ride the car, you might get distracted. I do that sometimes. I'm like, oh, wow, look at this. You could stop so many times to do some sightseeing, to see some maybe landmarks, and just to maybe take a picnic and have a rest. There is so much to get distracted by, especially when you drive by beautiful scenery. But the thing is, if you keep stopping, if you keep going out of your way, it's going to take a really long time to get to your destination. And the reality is this lifetime is finite. There are a certain amount of days we have. We don't know how many yet. And nothing's guaranteed, of course. Tomorrow is never guaranteed in this shape, form. We are living this life here in this human body. So there is a finite amount of days that we have to do all the things we want to do. And I think that's the major factor here. It's like, how can we get there faster? Because, it's all nice. Like, maybe I want to become a millionaire, but yeah, I don't really have 100 years to do it. Probably in 100 years' time, a lot of people could figure it out. But the question is, how can I do the things I want to do and arrive there much faster than most other people? And the main answer will be to not be distracted. When you keep being distracted, you do not take action. And just an example of what recently has happened. I took my eyes off, and I do want to be open to other options, of course. But I've learned, actually, I'm not going to do this as much anymore. I want to lock in and decide. Decide literally means to cut off. Means in Latin, decidere means to actually cut off. So you're cutting off all other options because you have made the decision, and hopefully an informed decision. There's a combination of what you feel, what you desire, and what logic tells you. And if you've made that informed decision based on all the pros, all the cons, and, is this what I want long term? Is this really going to bring me where I want to be in life? Is this going to allow the life of my dreams? And you know what? No one has to live your life. You're the only one living in this body, having this experience, living your life. It doesn't even matter what anyone thinks. It's really all about, what do you want? What do you want to have experienced at the end? And we don't know where the end is, when it is. We don't know. But I know that I want to look back and know for sure that I have stayed on the path. I have tried hard and I've tried everything. I have not given up. I haven't, just given up and thrown in the towel just because maybe I'm afraid. I did not give in to fears and sacrifice my big dreams. I want to know that I went for it all. And to get there faster, I must not be distracted. You must keep your eyes on the goal. And it's always that image of driving somewhere or even hiking somewhere, going somewhere, putting this into your GPS and then just taking, put the blinders on, literally, not the blinders. Maybe it's okay. You can look left and right sometimes, but you don't want to go out of your way. You're not going there. You acknowledge that there are all these other things surrounded you that are just part of reality, and it's good. It's all there. But this is not where I am going. This is not my destination. I'm holding on to my dream, my final outcome, and it doesn't matter what anyone says. It doesn't matter, what other ideas I get. It's like, this is my precious dream. And I feel like it's so precious because every day we live is a day past that will never come back. We can never recreate it. We can never relive it. And even if we did everything exactly the way we did it yesterday, today is still a new day, and you're not going to have exactly the same experience because today you are slightly different from who you were yesterday because you now have had all the experiences that you have had yesterday that you didn't have before. And even if it's the same, keeping your eyes on the goal, it's so hard. It's just so hard. In practical terms, it really helps me to write things down, write it in a journal, and it might be digital. I love Notion. I just type a couple of paragraphs in Notion. And then when I come back, it's just amazing when you look back a year and 2 years and 5 years. We totally underestimate what we can do like in 5 years, but we sometimes overestimate what we can do in a month or a day. I always do because I always have these big visions of doing a lot of cleaning and doing all these projects. And then the twins are very needy, and the reality is, and I don't know why I cannot accept it. It's because I want to be a big dreamer. I always have these images. I see it literally in front of me. It's like, this is what I want. I want this organized wardrobe. I want this organized play corner. I want this kitchen to be minimal. I want not so much stuff lying around everywhere. And I know exactly what I want to do. But then, of course, the distraction, in this case, coming as my twins, not just distracting. Literally, it would be easy for me to just stay on goal, like cleaning a house and stuff, but literally screaming, yelling, needing me and fighting where I literally physically need to be there and stop everything else I'm doing and carry someone and hold someone. It's just reality. And so I often overestimate what I can get done in a day. But when I look back, when I look at my old journals, what I wrote in there 5 years ago, one of my dreams was to reach 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. Well, I've well exceeded that on my main channel, approaching 300K, which is still not big, not really big in YouTube terms, but I really want to go for the million. So that's what I'm working on right now. And I want to stay laser focused and not be distracted and always try something different and something different and something different. I just need to focus on one thing and go through all the way and just keep doing it. Basically, whatever you want to do in business or in life, if you want to be successful, pick something that you want to do that you can keep doing forever, basically forever. If you want to be in shape, don't do something that you can't follow through for the rest of your life. If you want a routine that's going to work for the rest of your life, you're going to have to pick something that you can stick to forever, every single day. And if every day means, okay, every Monday through Friday, I'm going for a run, then that's your every day. Like I do this, I need to do something, and it's okay to suck, but it's not okay to skip. That's what I always tell myself. You can't not do it. You have to do it. You have to get started. And usually once you get started, it is much easier than just thinking about it for a really long time. The 5-second rule, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Just do it. Don't overthink. And that's how it is with your goals too. Don't overthink. Don't worry. Don't fear. Yes, we all have fears, but put that feeling back in your purse and say, it's okay. You're here. It's good. I'm a human being, but I'm not going to let you dictate my day and my life and what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do what I want. And maybe I'm going to do what I don't want every day, because maybe sometimes I don't feel like doing the thing that is actually going to help me get to my dreams. But that is something that, I think everyone starts in a different place. I know people that it's just very hard for them to actually do something that's very hard and that they don't like doing. And then for me personally, if I really want something, I'm just going to get it. I get so crazy about it and I'm just like, no, I'm doing it. I get so adamant and I get so focused and I'm not letting anything deter me from it or convince me otherwise. It's like, no, it's what I want. And if I really want something, I'm going to do all the things that are really hard that maybe a lot of people wouldn't do. But it's like, for me, it's not hard to do the hard stuff. I mean, like having twins, raising them on my own, being the single mom of 3 kids and moving to the US at the same time, going for the visa and having a business that I'm running and a house to sell and a dog. It's not like I'm leaning back there and like, oh, it's just easy peasy, easy, smooth sailing. No, it's hard. But you know what? If I want my dream outcome, i.e., one day having a house with lots of space around me, with a little bit of land, not tons, enough so I can take care of everything, a bunch of kids running around, a big family. I mean, of course, hopefully they will not be small kids forever. They will not. My ideal outcome is in 15 years, I'm going to be there on Christmas and I'm going to have a bunch of kids and maybe some grandkids already. My oldest daughter, she's 12, That's my dream scenario, and a successful business and more books to be written and having an impact on the world, whether it is in the singing world or even here with this channel, with this podcast, and with all my other channels and podcasts that I have, which are like, I love creating content and talking, I guess. I like to hear myself talk. But all those things, I want to have an impact on my life, on my children's life, and on, maybe a little part of the world, in the singing world. And I can't have a big impact if I keep being distracted, if I keep doubting. So keeping my eyes on the prize, which is that perfect scenario. And like something like reaching 1 million subscribers, it's a vanity metric. But here's the thing. If there's something you want, why not? You know what? You need no reason other than it's what you want. You don't have to justify. You don't have to have a noble reason for things. If you want to have $1 million, if you want to have $10 million, there's no reason for you to have to justify. It's not greedy to want this. I think even most people that want to buy nice stuff, unless you only want to buy it to feel better because otherwise you don't feel bad because it's a substitute for something else, because there is a void in your life, maybe that's not so healthy. Maybe then you could really do some mind shifts. But if you want something because you like it, because it's beautiful, why not? Why do we have to justify? Why do we have to feel bad? I don't agree with that. I feel like, it's not greedy to want a beautiful watch or beautiful jewelry. I'm not into that kind of stuff. It's not important to me. But what if I just think it's beautiful? Is it greedy to want this? No, I don't think so. I don't care about cars too much. Like I want a nice, like a van that's comfortable, where when I drive, it really makes it so much more smooth and just comfortable when I sit there and drive for hours and hours, so I'm not hurting as much. It's like flying business class versus economy. It's not greedy. It's not, it's not like I'm better than anyone. It does cost quite a lot more, going overseas from Germany to the US. Like economy is about, if you catch it at a really cheap time, it's like maybe $600 to $700. And if you go business class, it's about $2,500 to $3,000. So that's a lot. It's a lot. But I want it because it does make a big difference. And I know it's only a few hours, but it does make such a big difference, especially when you travel with kids. And it's not greedy to want nice things in life. I don't know. It's a limited mindset. It's just like such a, fixed mindset of like, no, I shouldn't. And, I don't know, even in the Christian world, sometimes it's like, no, we're supposed to be all modest. You know what? I can't find that in the Bible, that you are not allowed to have nice things and that you're not allowed to have money. And, it says the love for money, what if we just don't love the money, but we love the things we can buy with money, and we love making an impact? And then when you make an impact in the world, when you have something to offer that people need and want, they exchange that, what you have to offer, in exchange for money that they give you. That's legit. That's what everyone does. That's how everything works. That's how everyone works and has a job. And if you have something that is on a bigger scale and you make more money and you want that money because you want to buy nice things, I think that's a perfectly great motivation. I don't feel anything negative about it. Why do we, I don't know where that comes from. I know where it comes from, but stop that mindset of like, oh, but I don't need much. Yes, you know what? Technically, we all don't need much. We don't. You need a place to sleep where you are sheltered from bad weather, where you're not going to freeze and not going to burn, not going to sweat too much. You need shade in the summer and some warmth in the winter, depending on where you live, and a shelter, and then you need food that nourishes your body so you can survive, hopefully more than just survive, to feel good, to be healthy, to be strong. And then you need people around you, the social, you need relationships. That's really important. Other than that, I don't know, like that's really all we need. But do we need, there's like really, we don't need smartphones. We don't need the internet. If we all were gatherers, hunters, we wouldn't need all this stuff, but we are not anymore. And so today it's just translated into a different time. And nowadays we are like, okay, we don't gather and hunt anymore, but we take a role in this society and then we contribute something. And then in exchange for that, we get money with which we can buy things that we would like to have in our lives to make our lives more comfortable. You know what? Even 2,000 years ago, that's what humans did. They always try to find ways to make life more comfortable. And that's what we do now. And now it's not a matter of, can I save myself from the saber-toothed tiger and be safer and keep my babies alive, hopefully longer. Now it's a matter of, do I get this, we have washing machines, we have machines that do everything. Do I get this nifty device to cook an egg, to make it even easier? Do I get this fancy coffee machine to get even better coffee? But why not? I think it's not much different. We always try to make our lives more comfortable, and we love nice things. Even some animals, they like shiny stuff, and it's just because it's fascinating. Why not? And I feel like we are humans and we are allowed to be humans. Back to the topic. Keep your eyes on the prize, on that thing that makes you feel better, that makes your life better, that makes you more comfortable and happier. And you know what? Always keeping in mind that you can never be at the point to where, if I don't get it, I'm going to be unhappy. Always come from the my cup is full perspective. Like, my cup is already full. I love everything about my life right now. Everything is great. If it went on like this forever, I would be content. I actually really don't need much when it comes to material things. But what I want, the house, a nice house with space and land, that is not because I want to show it off. It's because I enjoy growing my own vegetables and having a garden. Contemplating, it keeps me healthy. It keeps me relaxed. It minimizes my stress. It keeps me healthy because if I grow my own food, it's so much healthier in today's world. Also having space, like I make music. I love singing. I love recording, and being a little detached from a big city is very useful for me. And, hosting events, maybe even with music. So these are all just means to an end, like having a house and having a car. It's all a means to an end. Maybe even having my children is a means to an end. I mean, I don't know. Like, we are all selfish. And if we were not, we would not be alive. We want to make our lives better. And we have this urge to live unless something is really utterly wrong. And even having children, why do we have children? If most of us actually make a conscious decision, it doesn't just happen. And sometimes it does just happen, which, but even then, like, why do we make these decisions? Why do we want or do not want kids? It's because it makes our lives more like we want it to be. And for me personally, having my family around me is like one of the most important things ever in my life. And not only is it selfish for me to want my children to be in my life and to, create my own family. Actually, it's also selfish to want to do something good for someone else and to be the mom and the nurturer and to give those children all the possibilities so they can grow up and be happy human beings that contribute also, that make a difference in the world. I think even that is selfish. Has a selfish motivation because it's what I want. It's what I like. It's what I want to happen. And I want to see my kids happy. So that's actually selfish. Even giving a gift, it's actually selfish because we actually love seeing the reaction. I do reaction videos, for like music videos. And why do people want to watch them? It's because they love seeing others enjoy and love something and be like, wow. And we love watching movies together, right? Because it's so different than watching it on your own, because you can agree on something and you can have that reaction together and you can empathize and you can like, yeah, you get it now? Yeah, isn't that amazing? And we just love seeing that reaction in others. So this has gotten pretty long. I'm going to wrap it up now by saying, turn on your GPS, put in your final destination, and keep your eyes on there. Do not take detours, or it'll take more than a lifetime to get to your dreams, to where they become reality. Until next time, my friend, always keep dreaming big, because yes, big dreams do come true if you keep taking action.